Hi everyone, my name is Karen McNull and I'm with Inspired by Graham. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator located in Sharon, Vermont. I am the proud leader of the Inspired Daisies team of stampers. We're from all over the United States, and if you would like to learn more about joining Stampin' Up in our team, please send me an email and I will be sure to get back to you. My email address is in the description box below. Today I have a free card class. I'm using the really fun designer series paper called Lily Pond Lane. There's ducks, cattails, ponds, and so much more in the paper. It's very bright and cheerful and uses colors I actually don't really use much of, but I think you'll really like the cards that I came up with. The colors, Stampin' Up colors that are in the paper are Balmy Blue, Granny Apple Green, Gray Granite, Peach Pie, Pretty in Pink, and Pretty Peacock, which is one of my favorite Stampin' Up colors. You can earn this free card class and you can earn up to 8 free card kits with a qualifying product order from my online store. You'll have to use the host code, which is M as in Mary, 37, C as in Charlie, X as in X-ray, B as in boy, P as in Peter, G as in George. It's that simple. The details are as follows: a $35 product order. You will earn 4 of the free card kits, 1 of each design, which I'll be making with you today. A $50 product order will get you 4 free card kits again, and also an embellishment, which will be a coordinating embellishment, hopefully the one I'm using today. It's back ordered right now, but I hope to include it. If not, it'll be something that works great. A $35 product order, this is where you can earn 8 free card kits, the embellishments as well. If your order is over 150, please do not use that host code / ordering code. I want you to earn your Stampin Rewards, and Stampin Rewards are product-based rewards Stampin Up gives to you. So a $150 order, you receive 15% back in free product of your choice. So you will also, any order that you place, no matter how big or small, does qualify for my Perks with Graham's reward program. All right, so I also have something really special for you. At the time of this video taping, I am on target to reach a huge milestone with Stampin' Up. I am so close to reaching the $100,000 in career-to-date sales. I'm just $337.34 away, which is so amazing. I have also something for you, and you can be part of my random drawing. So from June 15th through the 30th, 2024, any order, no matter how big or small, on my online store, your name will be put into a drawing. It's a random drawing for product. And there's a lot of products. This also includes subscriptions to Paper Pumpkin as well. I have an assortment of brand new bundles, embellishments, stamp sets, a mini cut and emboss machine. I have a few surprises as well. So it's just my way of saying thank you so much for being amazing customers and followers of mine. So I'm going to turn the camera down and we're going to get started on this really cute card class using the Lily Pond Lane Designer Series paper. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, let's go over the cards that we'll be making today. What I wanted to do was use the side of the paper that didn't have all of the ducks and ponds and cattails, although this one has the cattails on it, but you'll see in the paper, I'm going to show you what it looks like. But here is a best of luck card, and it's using Pretty in Pink as the primary base color. And I've got all the measurements for you too, so you could jot those down once we go over the cards. So that's card number 1. Card number 2 is a birthday card. I just love the happy birthday font here. and we've got some embossed paper behind there, and Pretty Peacock is also the primary color for the card base on this card. And then we just have another kind of a reverse sentiment stamp set, and I'm using Celebrate this time on the front, and another embossed panel, and also Happy Birthday on the inside. This is stamped with Pretty in Pink. And then finally, I'm using a Balmy Blue primary colors with, it's a sympathy card. I've got a picture of the cattails there, and on the inside, we've got My Heart Goes Out to You. So I'm gonna start with the Best of Luck card first, and then we'll move on throughout the rest of the class. The embellishments are the 24 to 26 in color resin dots. So I like them because they're kind of a matte finish, and they're actually flat. They're not pointed, so I do really like that. The Lily Pond Lane Designer Series paper. I've got my little sampler here, and I'll go through it with you. So here's the cattails, and on the back side we've got like a gray granite kind of dot speckled thing. And here are the ducks and the babies. Are super cute. And then the Pretty Peacock kind of splattered there. This is Bright and Cheerful paper with some snapdragons on the back side. I really want to use that one, but I haven't, I need to work on the paper a little bit more for that design. Here's a frog with a lily pad, super cute, and look at those cute little eyes. And then we've got some stripes with the peach pie. We've got some more ducks and some little like check marks. And then this here also has a family of ducks. I just cut this paper 3x6, so you're missing the other side of it. But we'll be using this side in one of the cards. And here's another friendly ducks and some little babies too. I really like this pattern here. I love the background of the Pretty Peacock. And then we've got cattails, water, and we got a little family of ducks. Also has fish, Bright and Cheerful fish, peach pie, Pretty and Pink, and then there's the peach pie. This is the mountain scene, I call it, design, which I use for the sympathy card. And we've got fish on the back side. Then the cardstock colors are Balmy Blue, Granny Apple Green, Gray Granite, Peach Pie, Pretty Peacock, and Pretty in Pink. I use basic white for all of the stamping paper. All right, so let's put this away. The stamp set and all of the dies come from Unbounded Love. This is a sentiment only stamp set, but we have some fabulous dies that come with this as a bundle. And don't forget, for the month of June up until June 30th, 2024, you can save on our stamp set / die bundles. Here is the Unbounded Love bundle dies. As you can see, lots of different like sentiment and outline dies. This one here comes from the inside of this one, so you could, I can see, like, if we had a stamp set that says wow on it, that would be kind of fun with an exclamation point, of course. But you can use all of these dies for certain cards. Embellishment, scrapbooking would be really huge on this one. So that is the bundle. All right, so we're gonna get started with the best of luck card. We will need, I've got my stamp sets here. I've got Pretty or Peach Pie as our main ink color. And then on the envelope, I just stamped Best of Luck. All right, so let's take everything out. What you see is what you'll get in your card kits. So let me just grab the sizes so I can tell you what they are. So the card base is Pretty in Pink, and it's 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4 1/4. And then we have an inside layer of basic white, which is 5 1/4 by 4. And then the basic white here is 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. Lily Pond paper is a 4 by 3. And then I've just got a scrap, which is 1 by, it's gonna go this way, so 1 by 4. We got one of the labels already die cut in basic white, and all of your bows will come pre-made for you on a mini glue dot. So it's super simple to make this card class. All right, so we're gonna pull in the pieces that we need for stamping. So that would be our label, our envelope, and the inside. All right, so I'm gonna grab my peach pie ink and we'll open that up. And I'm gonna just stamp the, I'll show you the best of luck, kind of off center a little bit more towards the left side. So we have room for the little dot that we will be adding in there, plus the bow. Okay, we'll set that aside. And the envelope here, we'll just stamp best of luck in the lower left corner. You need to have something on your envelope. Don't send it naked. And then let's see, the inside, may all your wishes come true, which I'm just gonna stamp up top there in the center. All right, so we have all of our stamping done. Put my ink pad across the table here. And now we're just going to assemble the cards. So I kind of like to get all the like really small loose pieces, the easy assembling done first, and then I will go to the more detailed assembly. So I'm gonna just grab my seal. I've got my seal and seal plus off to the right side of me. I'm trying to use up the rest of these the refills in here. So I'll probably be changing out lots of the adhesive for today, but it gives you a chance to see all of the adhesives that we carry with Stampin' Up. So I just added those two together. Let me just grab my card here. And then on the back side of this, I will be adding 5 Stampin' Dimensionals. You need one in the middle so your panel won't buckle, and that way it's held up. It holds up the sentiment much better. I would just use your piercing tool. I'm not very fast at removing the back sides of dimensionals with my fingers, so I just like to use one of my piercing tools to take those off. And then this one here just gets centered top, bottom, left, and right. Okay, and then on the inside we have our basic white panel, which we're going to add a piece of the paper, and I'm just gonna add kind of like just a little bit of adhesive there. And I like to add a little bit or leave a little bit of the white cardstock on the right side of the strip of paper. Let's grab our seal, and I'm just gonna make some 1/2-inch tick marks here, 5 of them. And we will open up the card, and then we will add this right on the inside, centering top, bottom, left, and right. All right, now we've got our bow and our sentiment. Sentiment will need to be popped up as well. For your card class, I do not send the adhesive or dimensionals. You can use those from your supply. I'm sure you have lots of dimensionals and adhesives in your craft room. All right, so then we're gonna flip this over. Basically, you can put this wherever you want. It doesn't need to be in the middle. It can be over to the side. So if you wanna just play around with it, and what I suggest you do is just put it right here, but don't tack it down real hard. And then take your bow, we'll peel it off. It's already got that mini glue dot on it. And then I've got a little smudge mark here, so I'm gonna try to cover that up a little bit. Maybe I'll put the bow this way. Yeah, I'm gonna put the bow this way. So since I did that, I need to actually move the sentiment over to the right side because it's going to be a little bit heavy if it's over to the left side. So let me just grab the sentiment here and we'll place it in the middle. And then I'm going to add the bow so it's up and down. And I'll just press really hard because under that knot is where your glue dot is. Now to finish it off, I'm going to pull in some of the 24 to 26 in color resin dots. And we have all the in colors here. So I think for this one, I used the, I can't remember which one I used on this one. I think it was this darker green here. So I'm gonna grab the pink ones this time and we'll change it up. So I'll just put one down here and then I'm gonna put one over here on the opposite and then the little tiny one. Let's see, I'm gonna just put it down here. So we have two on the left side and one at the upper right. So that is your card number 1. And let me just put those side by side so you can see what they looked like with the bow down here. And over here, I've got the bow going portrait. And on this one here, I've got the embellishment on the sentiment tag. So let me know in the comments which one you like throughout the card class. I'd really like to know. All right, let's move on to card number 2. It's a sweet birthday card. Our primary color here is Pretty and Pink along with Pretty Peacock. And then on the inside, we've got the word Celebrate. And the ink color again is Pretty Peacock. We have an embossed panel here, which we'll talk about. And I'll get my embossing sampler book out so you can see that embossed panel. So here's your card kit. It will come just like this. And I would suggest using your Pretty Peacock ink for this card, just because it's a dark base, and I like using dark colors to pull out the sentiments. So let me just find our stamping panels here. We've got our basic white, which is the inside. It's 4 by 5 1/4, and I've already got the sentiment label. I love this sentiment label, this oval here. We haven't seen ovals in a while, especially with a scallop and stitched. So we'll be using that one on this card. And let's see, what else do we have? The envelope. All right, so let's do our stamping first. On a humid day here, it does take my ink longer to dry. So I'll take out the Pretty Peacock and I'm gonna stamp the main sentiment, which is Happy Birthday, onto the Unbounded Love die cut. All right, there you go. And then on the envelope, we'll stamp Celebrate, again in Pretty Peacock. And then on the inside here, don't forget this is going portrait. We'll add Celebrate to the inside of that one too. All right, so I'm gonna move all these out of the way. And again, I'll bring in my silicone craft sheet. This protects our work surface. And we'll start putting together kind of the like easy things. Again, I like to do that. All right, so we've got our designer series paper. Let me get you the sizes. All right, the designer series paper is 2 7/8 by 3 7/8. So 2 7/8 by 3 7/8. And that is going to be mounted on basic white panel, which is 3 by 4. Very simple. I'll just use my seal to add some tick marks here. 5 of them work really well. The seal adhesive is very, very sticky, so you don't really need to use the adhesive all around the 4 edges. Okay, and now this panel here is going to go onto some Pretty in Pink, which pulls out, the Pretty in Pink pulls out the pink that's in the flowers here. This is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And this is going to get adhered straight down on top of the Pretty in Pink. Again, 5 1/2 inch tick marks is good. And then we'll center this right on that panel. This does get raised up with our dimensionals, so we'll grab 5 of those just like in that first card, and we'll add those on all 4 corners plus 1 in the middle so that that middle section does not buckle. Make sure you press them down really well, and then we will grab our piercing tool to take off those backings. And then we'll pull in, oh, actually, we're prepping that one. I went one step ahead of myself. All right, we have an embossed panel here, which is going to be going on top of the card front. Always make sure first that you have your card opening the correct way. You don't want to put it on backwards. The embossed and debossed side both works really nicely. I'm going to use or show the embossed side. Again, I added 5 half-inch tick marks approximately on all 4 corners and in the middle. So that was 4 by 5 1/4. That's embossed with the Dashing Designs 3D embossing folder. And now we have another piece of designer series paper, and this is, let's see, it's 4 by 2, and I used 4 by 2 because that kind of maximizes your designer series paper. All right, so we'll put this on horizontally. If you want to measure the exact point in the middle, go ahead and do that. I'm just going to eyeball it. Okay, press that on there. Now we'll take this panel here, look at it first, make sure it's, sometimes it looks better. This is a kind of I think it's kind of directional paper. In this instance, I'm looking at this flower here as my main flower, so I'm going to adhere it to the front this way. Let's take that beautiful happy birthday stamped label, and again, we're going to raise this one up, and I'll just add, I think we could get away with 3 dimensionals. Kind of put them like as a triangle, and that way you can get away with using 3 versus 4. All right, we'll grab that, and then you can add this one in the middle here. I added it over the side. I think what I'll do on this one, let's show it to you in the middle. It's unfortunately going to cover up that super cute flower here, but I want to show you, I'll give you a different view of a different layout here. So I'm looking at this here, and I notice that it's just a little bit crooked and not straight. So let me just turn this a little bit. What I'm looking at is, I'm not looking at the sentiment because I did stamp that at an angle, and that's the way I wanted to do it. But I'm looking at this curved scallop here because it's kind of in the middle. And then I'm looking, wait a minute, that's not right. I'm not looking at, let's see, 1, 2, 2. Yeah, these 2, I'm sorry, I had to count there. These 2 are the middle ones for the scallop. So I just need to turn that down a little bit so that the oval is centered horizontally. Then you'll take your little handmade bow, which comes with a mini glue dot. And then I'm going to actually add this one right to the label. The other one is added right to the designer paper, but we're going to show you a different layout on this one. Let's grab the inside panel here, and I've got a piece of the designer paper, which is 4 by 1. And I just basically use up my scraps. So you might get this size, you might get a little bit smaller size, larger. I just like to use up all of my scraps. And then we'll hit this back panel here with some seal. And then we'll add this panel to the inside again, centering top, bottom, left, and right. All right, we're gonna grab the in color dots, and then I used the Pretty in Pink ones on that other card. So let me use, I'm going to go with this one here. So we'll add this one down here in a larger area of Pretty in Peacock. Not Pretty in Peacock, Pretty Peacock. And then we'll add a smaller one. Let's add one there, and then the other one will go up way up on the opposite side here. So we're forming a triangle here. Okay, so let's put these out here, and we'll put them side by side so you can see the difference in just a slight little change. And sorry, I got a little bit of ink on there. A slight little change of moving the sentiment around. So just gives you a different kind of look. All right, we're gonna move on to the next card, which is again super cute as well, using lots of little scraps. Okay, we're gonna be using this, this card is actually just the reverse on the stamping. We're gonna add Celebrate on the front, and on the inside we'll stamp Happy Birthday and Pretty in Pink, and also on the envelope as well. This kind of layout uses lots of different size scraps, so that's really good when you have lots of small pieces of designer paper. So let's take out your card kit here, and we'll need our envelope and our little sentiment label here, and then the basic white thick, lots of little pieces here. Hopefully I don't lose them. So we'll need the card base, the envelope, and the sentiment label here. And I'm using Pretty in Pink ink. And then I did already clean the stamps with my Stampin' Scrub so we don't contaminate our ink pad. We don't want our Pretty Peacock green ink going into the Pretty in Pink ink pad. That's very hard to say. All right, and then on the inside here, let's open this up, and let me just flip this around, and I'm gonna stamp Happy Birthday at the top. And then on the envelope, we're just gonna repeat and stamp Happy Birthday on the lower corner there. That is all of our stamping, so let me just close this up real quick, and then the fun part of assembling. Alrighty, so we've got our embossed panel here. Let me find my card base. I'm going to take my bone folder since this is kind of popping up. I like to work on a flat card base, so that means if it's kind of doing that, just take your bone folder and just burnish it a little bit more, and then it should lay flat for you just like this is, okay? Make sure you're working the correct way so this isn't upside down. And look at this beautiful, beautiful embossed panel here. This is the Layered Florals 3D. It's so, so pretty. I've got it embossed with 4 by 5 1/4, a basic white. We'll take our seal, and again, we're just gonna add 5 tick marks of adhesive and center this right on top of the basic white thick, which is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, and pre-scored at 4 1/4. Okay, that's the base. And actually, let's take this one here, and we're going to add that right to the inside. Let me grab my silicone craft sheet, and I want this side showing because that's one of the patterns in the paper. And this is 3/4 of an inch by 5 1/2, so it's going to line up at the top and the bottom, and I'll just leave a little bit of white showing on the right side here. Okay, looking great. Just can't get over how beautiful this embossing folder is. All right, so then we've got a piece of the Pretty Peacock, which is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. As you notice, I'm using lots of the same sizes. My designer series paper, which is going to go here, and then this one will go in the upper I don't edit, you guys know that, upper right corner, and then this is going to be going down at the bottom. So the this piece here is 1 3/4 by 2 3/8, so 1 3/4 by 2 3/8. And then this one here is 1 1/8 across by 2 3/8. And then the bottom piece here is 3 by 1.5 inches. Okay, so I like to work, you know, in the corners and then the bottom. So I'm gonna grab this piece here and my seal, and we'll just add small amounts to each corner. And then you're just gonna wanna leave about less than 1/4 inch border on the top and left side. And then we'll take this piece here and we'll just add a little bit more seal there. And again, you're going to focus on the same border. So the top and the bottom matches this side here in the top. And we've got a space of the pretty peacock showing here. And then finally the bottom piece. And then this is non-directional, so it doesn't really matter. So we'll just add this one on and keep that space in between these two. And then the bottom, I'm focusing more on the border than anything. So I want it matching up. So it's kind of a straight line here, straight line on this side, and then everything else falls in place. We'll flip this one over. And again, we're gonna add 5 dimensionals to this panel, just like the other 2 cards. This class is a great class to offer if you do host classes in your house, or for, you know, out in the public, or if you want to mass produce, like take the designer series paper and change it into Christmas, and you've got some beautiful Christmas cards. All right, again, let's make sure this is opening the correct way. We don't want that front, we don't want it upside down. So I'm just gonna center this top, bottom, left, and right here, and press where those dimensionals are. I've got a 1 3/8 inch circle. I used the retired circle punch, and I'm gonna add 3 just because this is going to hold the sentiment, and I really want it to lay flat. Okay, let's grab our embossing, or not my embossing, my piercing tool. And then this is going to go right in the center of where those meet. Okay, so now I know that's flat. And then this piece here is going to go on top of the circle here, but again, I want it lifted up so we can see it a little bit better. So I'm gonna grab, let's grab one of the edge pieces here. So I'll take my paper snips and just cut a small edge piece off. We'll put the cap back on. Those are super sharp. Press that down and you should be able to pull that right off easily. And then let's add this right to the center. And what I'm looking at here is this little curved part of the sentiment label is in the middle here. Okay, once it is, we'll press it down. And then I'm gonna take my ribbon here. We'll go over the ribbons at the very end and what they're called. And I'm gonna add this right down in this little open area here at an angle. And let's see, let's use let's pull out the green here, the Granny Apple Green in the foliage here. Shy Shamrock is the brighter embellishment color, although it's not in the paper. It's very close to the Granny Apple Green, so I'm gonna go with it. And I will add, let's see, I don't wanna put one there because it'll be just too busy. Again, I'm gonna take 2 and put those on the bottom, and then let's find an area of pink right about there. Okay, so another fun card for you, and we'll just line them up here and show them side by side. You can also take these pieces of designer paper here, and maybe you want to put this one at the top, and then you could lower these down, or reverse these two. So the smaller piece goes on this side goes over here, and you can just play with it and do all different kinds of designs with the paper. It's super fun. All right, we're gonna move on to the sympathy card, which is our last card in today's class. Okay, for our final card for today is a sympathy card using lots of Balmy Blue with another embossed panel. And on the inside, we've got My Heart Goes Out to You. So let me take my little cheat notes off and we'll get started creating this card here. All right, so we will be stamping on our envelope. And then you'll have 2 panels of the 4x5¼ white. So we just need one of those. And also our sentiment label. Everything else can be put over off to the side here. I'm going to use my Balmy Blue ink, and I'm using 3 different words today on this card. One is called Faith, the other one is With Sympathy, and then My Heart Goes Out to You. So on the front, I'm going to use the With Sympathy. I'm going to stamp this more over to the left side. And let me just show you on this die cut, it's got little, nice little embossed edge here. So make sure you're stamping on the smoother side versus the rough side. All right, so I'm just gonna stamp that right down again in the lower left corner there with Sympathy. That will dry a little bit lighter, I've noticed. And then the inside panel, My Heart Goes Out to You. And I'll just stamp that right about there. And then on the envelope, I like the word Faith, and that will get stamped in the lower left corner there. All the words in this stamp set, Unbounded Love, are just super like thoughtful, I guess. Just all different occasions in the stamp set. It's a great... let's look at it here. It's like, it has lots of nice words in it. So it kind of like an all season stamp set for season of the years, because to you and yours, just for you. I mean, that could be definitely a Christmas wording, peace for sure. So don't let this one slip away, especially with the bundle sale we have going on. All right, so let's grab our Balmy Blue card base. This is 5.5 by 8.5. And I've got it pre-scored at 4.25. And then we have a piece of basic white, same size as the inside. It's 5.25 by 4. Let's add that right to the card front. Oops, I just went over the edge and I got adhesive on my paper because I got lazy. Let's make sure it's opening correctly. And I need to get my silicone craft sheet in front of me here. All right, so we've got that layered on, and we'll grab that in here. Now let's work more on the focal point. We've got Pretty Peacock, which is 4 7/8 by 3 5/8. And then I've got Balmy Blue, which is 4 3/4 by 3.5. This has already been pre-embossed with the Zinnia 3D. It is directional, so make sure you're looking at that. I looked at this flower here, so I knew that was the way it went. And we'll just grab our adhesive again and just add 5 little tick marks there. And really small border, about 1/8. When you emboss cardstock, it does stretch. So if your panel is check before when you get your card kit, before you put adhesive on it, just make sure it's going to give you that little bit of a border. If it's not, then just cut it down a little bit. When you emboss paper, sometimes it stretches and gets bigger. So that's why if yours is a little bit bigger, just trim down the Balmy Blue. All right. And then we've got our designer paper here. And we'll add some more adhesive to this one. Again, 5 tick marks is good. And I'm going to add this one down towards the bottom to the edge of the Balmy Blue, all the way over to the right side. And then I've got a small amount of Balmy Blue showing down here. Now let's take this panel and we're going to adhere it here to the front, but we're going to add our dimensionals to give it a little bit of height. And we'll use 5. And press those down real good. And take your piercing tool to remove those backings. And we'll flip that over. And then this gets centered right on the card front. Hopefully. Okay, good enough. Pressing in the corners because that's where I know the dimensionals are, and in the middle. Our next step is we're going to add some Stampin' dimensionals on the back side of our sentiment label. You could add some of the edge pieces going like this, or just 3. We'll grab 2, 1 on each side and then 1 in the middle. Again, press those down real good. Take your piercing tool, remove those backings. And then this one here, it's going to be a little bit different than our sample card because this one has less cactuses here. So I'm going to actually put this right in the middle, kind of in that water area. Press down where those dimensionals are. I'm going to take my little bow here, not bow, and we'll add it this way in the center there. You'll have to let me know if you like your bows pre-made, or would you rather not and you do it on your own. I would love to know that. We'll take our inside panel and then I'm going to add this piece here. And it's directional, so let's add it down here with a little bit of white showing on the right side and slide my fingers up there, and that way that gets adhered to the basic white. And then 5 more tick marks with your adhesive. And then this one goes right in the middle here. Final step is our embellishments. So let's pull those back in. And I think what I'm gonna do is use the Summer Splash because Summer Splash has a little bit of blue in it, a tint of blue. And I think it's really gonna pull out more of the pretty peacock area here. So let's just add, boy, it's gonna be a little bit different. I don't want that big one down here. So let's add this one right there, just because there's a flat area of cardstock and it will stay on there and adhere much better. And then my little one here, let's see, I kind of want to put one here in that area, but I think it's going to look a little funky. So I'm not going to do that. Let me just put it down here. And then I'll grab another larger one and let's put it over here. So we've got our triangle being formed, okay? All right, so let's put these two side by side. You're gonna have a little bit of different look to it and feel just because of the paper. See, this one here, the sample card had a little bit more of the cattails, and whereas this one has less. It all depends on how you cut your paper. Okay, so, and then the envelope, I just love the word faith. All right, so let's go over all of the cards again, and then I'll show you the embossing book along with the ribbons and go over the inks again. All right, to recap on everything I used today, the stamp set and bundle, it is called Unbounded Love. Don't forget, it is on special this month only until June 30th, 2024. The ink colors consisted of Pretty Peacock, Balmy Blue, Peach Pie, and Pretty in Pink. And then let's go over the ribbons I used. This is the bordered ribbon. It's 3/8 of an inch, and it is Peach Pie, $7.50, not too bad. And then again, this is another ink color, same style of ribbon. It's Pretty in Pink, again, $7.50. And I don't have the price marked on this one. I think it's $8 or $8.50. It is the Pretty Peacock in Gold ribbon. It did carry over which is really nice. I love the pretty peacock with that gold kind of shimmer in there. And then this one, I'll have it in the description box, the ribbon name, but we used this one in last month's card club, and the name is kind of escaping me, but this comes in white and also petal pink. And I used the white strip here, and it's 1/4 inch. And then the embellishments are the in colors, the 24, 26 in color resin dots. They are at this time on back order, but they're due back in, I believe, around July 1st. The bundle, the dies, Unbounded Love dies are, here's my templates. It's totally a must-have in my craft room. I actually have 2 of these sets, so it's gonna make it so much easier for me, less labor intensive to have 2 in my craft room rather than 1. So I do a lot of die cutting. The paper, we did go over that, Lily Pond Lane paper. I did use quite a few dimensionals, my silicone craft sheet. And then the embossing folder book, I have a swatch book that you can order. It is going to be closing very soon, probably the last day of June, June 30th, 2024. I believe it's $45. It comes fully assembled for you. Kind of like this. I use the perennial lavender paper. This design here may or may not be on your front cover. It's going to be whatever I have in that pack, but it will be from perennial lavender because I use Highland Heather as my primary color here. Again, it's going to be fully assembled for you. It's one of our albums in the Stampin' Up annual catalog. And then in it, I've got 3 categories that we have for embossing folders this year. This one is in the category called Pretty Patterns. It's the Cane Weave 3D. And then here we've got Cute Crochet 3D. And on these, I have the item number and how much it cost and what catalog it came from. For instance, this one is coming from the annual catalog, the 24-25. And then over here is the Dashing Designs 3D. I did use this one in one of the cards. The Dotted Circles 3D is so like powerful. It's so happy. That one definitely, it's a really large one. And trust me, buy it because you'll love it. It's again called Dotted Circles 3D. It's $12. And the emboss side is just as good as the debossed side. All right, so I put this together so that you can see both sides of the embossed paper. And they're 3x4 if you're wondering how big these are. Eyelet 3D and then Metal Plate 3D. That one, metal plate, is a carryover. We have the Distressed Tile 3D. We're moving in the Oh So Organic category. So Oh So Organic. Exposed Brick. And then Fern 3D and then Layered Florals. Very beautiful. Used that one today. And then we got So Swirly and then Timber 3D. And then last in the Oh So Organic category is Snowflake Sky 3D. The Hybrid Hype dies and folders. This is Adorning Hearts. This one was really intense, putting this one together, and how do I display it the best I could because there's so much going on with it. So we've got this side here, and then over here, some of them do get cut out. And then over here we have Seaside Wishes, so cute. This is wonderful in die cut in basic beige, by the way. And then on the back side, Sand Dollars is so pretty. And then finally in the Hybrid Hype dies and folder category, we have Thoughtful Moments. So lots of words and little kind of embellishment dies. Online exclusives as of when I made this, and this is what's going to be included. We got Leaf Falling 3D, Painted Textures. I still need to get that one, so it'll be coming in my next order. And then finally, the Zinnia 3D. Now, I know Stampin' Up, of course, will be adding in more embossing folders. So, and I know a lot of you have already asked, will I be offering more? And the word is, or the answer is yes. They'll be $1 a piece, and I believe it might be $2. I actually, honestly, I don't even know how much I'm going to charge you for them. I'm just going to, once an embossing folder comes out, I'll purchase it, and then I will, for those, I'll put it out there. Those who ordered the swatch book will get an opportunity to add these on, so you can add them to your swatch book. And there's some spaces in here where you can do that, or you can add on in my ordering link additional sheets, because as you can see, you're going to be able to fit a ton of swatches in here. So inspiredbygram.com is my ordering link. And let me just show you, I created this cute little chart as to how you can help me. I broke this down. This goes by $1,000. As you can see, over the years, this is my 5th year as a business-minded Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. My first year, I started in February 24th, 2020, and the end of the calendar year is September 30th of every year. So for that first year, it was $6,000 and change. And then year 2, I went all the way up to $31,000. And then year 3, all the way to $57,000 and change. And then year 4, which is last year, I went all the way to 82. And then this year, currently, I am at 99,600 approximately. It is $99,662.66. I have $337.34 to go, and I broke it down by 100s. All right, so please help me color this in so I can earn that huge milestone, which is for me very incredible. So I appreciate all my loyal customers, my supporters, my followers, and I really truly hope you have a great day. Thank you so much, and be well.